Think back with me to when you were a kid and went to the internet cafe and turned on the computer to play games. But have you ever wondered how computers work? Today you will learn all about it. If I asked you what you did on a specific day, you would remember some informations like that. This is in computer called memory. Hard disks consist of a lot of parts, but the most important parts are plotters and read or write heads. When a user saves a file, the computer sends a command to the read or write head, telling it to start writing the file. On the platters, it searches for a bit space on the platters and saves the file. When the user wants to open the file, the computer sends a command to the read or write head to search for the platter. For example, row 6, column 6. Wait a second. It means platters represent the storage of the hard disk. Expensive hard disks have a lot of platters. Yes, but not at the same time. Some hard disks have faster read or write head, which makes file access faster and the computer more responsive. The space that platters can save is represented by many measuring units. But what is the difference between these units? You know, when you go to the bank to cash a check, and instead of having the check value in your hand, measuring units are the same idea. Every unit has a value relative to the previous unit. If you open your computer, you will find a fan. Under this fan, there's a small cube in the middle called CPU, the brain of computer. Remember when I said the computer sends commands? The CPU is responsible for this. CPUs are components that process data. CPUs different in processing speed, which we measure in gigahertz and megahertz. Every CPU has one or more cores. Each core is a processing unit. A core can support multiple threads that allow better of the core. In simple terms, a core is the worker. The worker can switch between. If I told you something, you might remember it after 5 years. Maybe yes, maybe not. But if I told you something unimportant, you probably wouldn't remember it after 5 years. This is the difference between temporary data and static data. Temporary data is important if you open a browser and download a program. The program you download the browser is stored in temporary data. If you close the browser, the temporary data is deleted. The part is responsible for RAM gets the data the CPU needs quickly and stores it to give the CPU that data. When you turn off the computer, all temporary data is deleted. Our home electricity works with alternating current, but computers work with direct current because it's safer for the computer components. This is the role of the power supply. How do the components communicate with each other? This is the motherboard role. It makes RAM communicate with the CPU, provides electricity from the power supply to all components, and organize communicate between them. It's called throughput, and throughput has measuring unit. Can you move a ball without touching it? If you aren't a wizard, you can't. It is the same with computer. If you don't give input to a computer, the computer will do nothing. Input methods allow users and output methods are how the computer, for example, and screen in front of you is an output device. There are input devices and output devices. In the previous section, we said that every function has a physical component. This is called hardware. Every component you can touch is hardware, but if hardware represents the body, software represents the sprite. The body can move without sprite. An operating system is essential software that manages hardware and runs applications and drivers. But what are drivers? Before answering, think it's possible to use a part of a car without knowing it exists? Of course not. The same applies to computers. If you don't have the driver for your hardware, component, it will not operate at its maximum. All drivers have a specific version for each operating system. Operating systems come in different types, and each type has its own usage. Windows is the most used operating system because it is easy for normal users and supports many programs, but it is closed source, meaning you can't customize the source code. Linux is an open source operating system, which allows you to customize the source code. This is why there are many versions like Ubuntu and Kali Linux, and each version has its own usage. Then, which should you choose, Windows or Linux? But why choose only one? This is called virtualization. You can do it with specific programs like Oracle VirtualBox. To use virtualization, you need to download the program and attach an operating system file. But how does the operating system know different types of files, like images or system files? It is the role of file extension. Every file in your operating system has a name which is visible and a hidden extension which you can show. This extension is the way the operating system knows how to deal with it. Not every image file has the same extension as an application, and every image in your device could have different extension. There are some common image extensions. A computer is an electric device. If you speak to it, it won't understand you. For this, scientists, binary is a system that consists of 0 and 1. 0 represents no electricity and 1 represents electricity. Every series of binary has different meaning from another. To organize this, scientists developed logic gates. A logic gate represents all the arithmetic operation performed by the computer, like addition and division. If you focus with me, you might ask a question: how do these numbers turn into words? This responsibility for ASCII. To work, ASCII saves every character in the table. For example, A equals 65, and 65 equals 0, 1, and 5 zeros and 1. This means if the computer finds this number, it will print A. Peripheral connections have two types: wireless and wired. Wired connection include USB and Thunderbolt. Wireless connection include Bluetooth and radio frequency. Most of these devices are used to connect devices that are near each other. But if I am in Asia and my friend in Europe, the importance of networks. A network is a set of devices, computer or phones or printers connected with each other to share data. This network can be at work or home. If devices are connected, there is a network, and this is called a LAN. Router is a device that connects to network with each other, mostly your private network. LAN with the internet. WAN. How can I be sure that when I request data, the network delivers it to the right device? Computers have a technology called IP address. Every computer in the network has a numerical value to distinguish it from others. There are two types: IPv4, used in small networks like home or work, and IPv6 has more values in companies and places that have many devices. If you make a request for Google, should your request go directly to Google? No, it won't. Every website has its IP address, like 192.168.1.2. Because humans can't remember many numbers and it's impossible to save all websites' numbers, we use DNS. DNS has all websites' domains, names of websites, and their IP address, like a dictionary. If you request to Google, your device will go to DNS and get Google's IP to open it. In 2013, Yahoo has hacked, and about 3 billion accounts were stolen. These accounts had names, birth dates, and passwords. The thing that made this attack crucial was that users used the same password for all their accounts. Now scientists made a password security method called two-factor. Malware consists of programs whose objective is to harm your device and benefit the malware maker, like stealing your data or using your device in attacks. A virus is a type of malware. Its objective is to slow down your device or corrupt data.